Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I'm bringing you guys some duos gameplay with a 35,000 kill Revenant player. Yes, I said that correctly. 35,000 kills with Revenant. This is my buddy Sensei. He posts on TikTok and YouTube as well. Really good guy, really good player. We've been talking about collaborating and playing some Apex for quite a while now. We finally decided to do so. And we ran a lot of duos and some trios towards the end once my other friend got online. And we won a lot of games. I gotta say, I was really impressed with this guy. He really has a good game sense. And other than that, he's just a good dude. It was actually kind of enjoyable to play with someone who has a lot of kills and a high pedigree in Apex that isn't, sweaty or arrogant or, you know, you know how a lot of those players end up being when they get a ton of kills. They kind of get an ego. Not this guy. Not this guy. He's real chill. We push a lot of fights and we have just a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun. He comes in clutch many different times. Um, I'll make a mistake and go down. He will clutch up and res. But we both have our moments. Both have a lot of fun. And overall, man, I had a really good time. Had a really good time playing with Sensei, and we win a lot of games, man. You're gonna see that here. But I'm gonna stay on here and commentate and kind of go over like what we do as we do it and sort of explain things. So right here, we were chasing this team, and we start getting shot in the back by a charge rifle, and we get third-partied. I'm able to beam this Horizon and get a knock, but she does get me rather low, and I know his friends out there with that charge rifle, so I throw out my drone for cover scans, and I go to slow heal because I only had syringes. Sensei comes up here, he's got my back. I said, hey man, I'm going to armor swap. There's this guy in armor swap. He said, go ahead, I got you. But then I heard the guy pushing up. And I said, no, let's get this guy out of here first. Throw the drone out, get some scans. Sensei here beams him. I clean him up and finish him up, man. And this is how this game goes. Like, we just push everything we can. We try to take every fight we can, but we don't full on like Leroy Jenkins, We don't just go balls to the wall on everything. There's a bit of calculation with every fight we take, especially on Broken Moon, because I feel like it's real easy to get third-partied on Broken Moon. And then right here, check this out. He claps the first guy with the massive Horizon. I hate this Horizon movement, man. Bam, claps the second one with the massive. I barely even got a shot off right there. And right here we're coming up on another team. They kind of snuck up on us, so I just go ahead and EMP. Most importantly here, I try to leave the drone in a good spot to scan, and look at this. Seer has no idea. Sit down, son. That's how powerful the drone can be when used correctly. Not just as an EMP like entry fragger tool, but as a like ultimate bloodhound scan. Like, that drone will get scans all day if placed in the right position. And then right here I just decide to send full send on the catalyst. Get a little sloppy with my car shots, but I clean her up with the R301. Right here, man. This is a fun little push we do right here. Sensei, he shoots those guys up there, and I say, hey man, I'm at like 96, 97 on the EMP. Let's go ahead and send it. Like, I just had a good feeling about this. He wanted me to wait for him to get up there. Of course I do. Send out the EMP. I position the drone where it can scan through the windows. And right here, he gets this Ash hurt. I get her like 1 HP. I full send a little too hard, and then he knocks her with the silence. But see how he uses his totem right here? He doesn't just use it from a distance, he uses it close, so he can get right in there and start fighting with it. I learned a lot from playing with him, especially about Revenant, and that was one of his biggest tips, is how to use the totem. He says you want to use it you want to use it quickly. You don't want to use it from a distance like what people used to do, where they like use it and then like hit a octane jump pad. He says you want to use it close. And then right here we get third-partied. I'm not fully healed yet, so I throw the drone upstairs to scan and cover the stairway. And then he throws his silences on the doors to cover the doors. But then after I get fully healed up, I was feeling pretty good. I was like, hey man, I don't think these guys are that good. They would have pushed us by now if they were like really good. And so we decided to go on back up here. I start tagging them with the 301. I call out their armor types. And then right here I get a little bit too eager, a little bit too overzealous with the Newcastle. If I remember right, oh no, it's up here. Yeah, I throw the drone to cover the top. That forces them to the outside because they don't want to get scanned by the drone. This Newcastle was pretty good, I'm not going to lie. He was pretty good, but then right here I decided to pull off a flank. And we get the cleanup.
That was the last of the squad. It's hard to survive alone.
This was just a really fun game. Really enjoyed playing this. Right here I grabbed my red Evo. I decided to heal it because I had so many batteries. I had 8 batteries, so I was like, hell, why not? If I'm not mistaken, I think we get third-partied again. And this was mine and his first game playing together, right? Like we've been friends on TikTok for a while. We never played together. This is our first game hopping on together. Easy win. Easy win. You got Revenant with the weird ass emote there with the hands. Revenant's a strange character, but I like him. I like him a lot. I don't think he's in a good place right now in Apex. Sensei even said that himself. He said, you know, unfortunately, Revenant's one of the worst characters right now. But if he's played correctly, he's fantastic. You know, as proof by this footage, like we won a lot. We won a lot of games last night. I think we played maybe a dozen games, maybe 15, and we probably won half of those, if not more. This was the not the next game, but the game after. We ended up going to World's Edge, and surprisingly, he didn't really want to go construction building. I thought that he would have because of the height and he can climb. But he says it just wasn't his personal favorite. He thinks it gets a little too wild, and I was like, hey, that's fair. You know, I think it gets too crazy too. But I just assumed, you know, as Revenant being able to climb that high, he would have wanted to go construction building. But that was a surprise. He told me Revenant's not really that good there. He gets beat out by other legends like Valkyrie and Horizon. I was like, you know, that's fair. You know, those high mobility legends. And yeah, right here, Fragment is just crazy as always, you know. We drop on a lot of teams. I get a triple take and an Eva, not my favorite guns. I think he ended up getting like a Mozambique or something. Something not that great. Whiffing my shots right here like a god. Slowest armor swap in the world. And then I just decided to stick the res. I noticed that they were getting shot by another team. I was like, cool, here's my opening, let's stick the res. And, you know, notice the drone, it's still getting scans. That drone's not in a bad spot. It's kind of defending us. And then right here, I finally decided to start hitting my triple take shots. But all these guys were low health. I'm just getting cleanup kills here. Recall the drone, I throw it out. Throw that drone out like a bloodhound scan, man. That drone is extremely versatile.
Enemy agent right here.
Right here, I get a little bit too big for my britches. These guys full send me. These guys were smart. I miss all my shots like a pro. Since he comes in here, claims them up. I think I was pushing a little hard in these videos because I knew I had a good player with me, a really good player, and that, you know, if I pushed a little too hard, maybe it wasn't the, you know, the end of the world type thing. Yeah, right here we're just looting up. I decided to run the good old classic R400 combo. Probably my favorite thing to run. I ping the banner and I see we have a team over here. Once we get over to this location, I'm like, huh, there's no one around us. And then Sensei makes an interesting point. He sees the guys in Fragment East. He saw the arrows were facing us. And he said, hey man, I bet these guys are going to push. And so we decided to refocus and push this way. And then lo and behold, look what happens. That team decided to push. He made a good call. He made the right call. And we were able to surprise these guys. They probably didn't think that we were going to cut them off here. And I get a couple of easy kills here. Another tip I can give you guys as crypto, to more effectively play crypto, is to not always use that EMP as like an opening in a fight, like an entry damage kind of thing. Sometimes it's best to save it and wait for a team to push you and EMP them as they're in the middle of their push once they've committed. Every time you do this, like that's what I did in that last fight there, they scatter, they panic, they're just not expecting it. Because they think they're being the aggressors, when in actuality, you're being the aggressor with that EMP. And you can almost always catch them in a bad spot, usually out in the open, overcommitting, over-pushing to a fight. Right here we run into a Caustic Mirage team. Sensei, he kills the Mirage. I was unable to find him. I was bamboozled. I tried to go after the Caustic. However, I'm not able to catch him. He just decides to full-on run. Sensei's able to clean him up. No problem. And then we go good old Lava Siphon. I scan the beacon, scan the banner. I see there's a team over here. I get a pretty nice knock on the roof. And then I go for the Thirst. And at this point, we know we've got an entry. We've got one down, so we don't even have to say it. We're moving up. We're moving up. We catch Octane right here trying to run away. I thought this was so funny. He was trying to hit that jump pad. And then we go ahead and decide to fight the next team that was still up here. Sensei takes the roof, I follow, I use, I say, what the hell, let's use an EMP. I crack one of them, the other only has blue armor, so I'm like, yep, let's go ahead and go on this. We've got him low. We each take opposite angles and trap them in the center. And he's really, I gotta say, another thing he's really proficient at is using those silences. He doesn't save them, but he uses them very efficiently. I'm not saying he wastes them. But he uses them to often throw off people and use them as like flashbangs, which I thought was really interesting. I wasn't expecting, I wasn't expecting him to do that, but he did. But he'd use those silences as much as he could, and I noticed it was really throwing off the enemies. Like, you pay attention, every fight we take, he pretty much always uses a silence. Right here, we push this fight. I throw up the drone for scans. He uses his tactical. Look at this. We get an easy knock on this guy right here. His teammate, unfortunately, does get away. But I'm able to land a pretty good beam on her right here. I think it's a lifeline. Yeah. And the other team, one of the other teams eventually does clean her up. Which was unfortunate. I would have liked to have gotten that kill. But it's all good, man. It's all good. Yeah, they clean her up right here. And I'm not sure. I think the other team might have died to Storm. And then here's the last team right here. Now, I have to say, this last team, these guys were good. They were solid players. We knew that from the start of the fight. We decided to try to make a play and to play underneath the building since they were going to play roof. So I go ahead and EMP. While Sensei climbs up, but I was a little late on the EMP. He got damaged, he got cracked before I EMP'd. However, my EMP kind of holds them back because now they need to heal, and that buys him a little time to heal. I try to take this angle, but unfortunately I played this a little too passively. I need to be peeking more right here, and it just didn't work out. Sensei ends up getting knocked because I was not covering him. I'm not trying to put blame on anyone, but in this case, I'm watching this right now. I'm like, I could have been laying down more fire right there to cover him. But it is what it is. Mistakes happen. And right here is where I'm talking about these guys being good. The lifeline takes the far left angle. The Wraith stays where she is. And the Wraith has a Craver. So I can't really peek her too much. One shot from that Craver, they're gonna full send me. So I gotta kind of like head bob. With lifeline, I can be a little bit more aggressive like I am right here. And right here, I'm just desperately trying to get a knock, but they have great angles on me. Like this was smart for the Wraith to peek out like that. It bought the lifeline time to heal. Now I'm looking for that lifeline because I was landing good shots on her, but I knew staying there, they were eventually just going to converge on me. in those 1v2 situations like this, you need to get a quick knock. You need to try to make it a level playing field as soon as you can. The longer this goes on, the more of a disadvantage I'm at. And right here I'm just trying to create space, but they would not separate. These guys, they pushed me together, they played good angles together, they were really smart. They made this a very difficult 1v2. And like right here, you see they're maintaining height. I've got to shoot up at them. I'm able to damage that one pretty well, but it's just, you know, it's not a knock, and I'm in a position right here where I can't push them, even if I were to get a knock. You know, they were smart. They forced me into a bad situation. Right here, I did not see the Wraith jump down. I was like, oh shit. I didn't hear her. I didn't see her. I should have healed up right here, but I tried to peek. She lands a Kraber shot. Sometimes that's just how it goes, man. Sometimes that's just how it goes. These guys were good. But I really enjoyed playing with Sensei. 35,000 kill Revenant player. That's insane. If you guys enjoy the video, please consider liking and subscribing, as it helps me out greatly. And make sure to have a wonderful day.